I find myself constantly thinking about the fact that those who have been born again have been called and made priest unto God. And they comprise what some translations refer to as a royal priesthood. Yet the average professing Christian has no conceptual understanding of what it means to be a priest. Priest is not just a title, it is a privilege, a position with great responsibility and accountability. In 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 9, it states, "You are a chosen people, the king's Kohanim, priest, a holy nation, a people for God to possess." In Revelation chapter 1, verse 6, it states, "He made us his kingdom, priest to serve Elohim, his Father." We read in Leviticus chapter 10 where God states that a priest must not drink any wine or other intoxicating liquor, neither you nor your sons with you when you enter into the tent of appointment, so that you will not die. This, he says, is a law for the ages throughout your generations, so that there will be separation between the holy and the profane, and between the unclean and the pure. And so that you will teach the people of Israel all the laws Yahweh spoke to them through Moses. Friends, the tabernacle and subsequently the holy temple that was built in ancient Jerusalem was the dwelling place of God. These were but a foreshadow of a greater house that was being built with living stones. In his first letter to the Corinthians, the Apostle Paul states, "Don't you understand that together you formed the temple of God and that God's Spirit dwells in you?" Reading on in Malachi chapter 2, verse 7, it states that a priest's lips shall guard knowledge and by implication of God's Torah, his instructions and teachings. And people should seek instruction from his mouth because he is the messenger of Yahweh of hosts. Paul went on to state in his second letter to the Corinthians that Yeshua died for all, so that those who live should no longer live for themselves. Paul went on to write to Titus and tell him that Yeshua gave his life to free us from every kind of lawlessness, to purify us, to make us his very own people, totally committed to doing good works of God's Torah, his teachings and instructions. And get this, it was Yeshua, Jesus, in his Sermon on the Mount that stated, "Whoever obeys the commandments and teaches others to obey them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven." Then we read in the book of Matthew in the 28th chapter where Yeshua tells his disciples, "Teach them to obey everything that I have commanded you. And remember, I am with you even until the completion of the age." Friends, as a priest, we have a job description. According to the scriptures, it states that we are to live for God and not for ourselves. We are to be totally committed to good works, God's Torah, his instructions, and we're to obey and teach the people to obey all the laws of Yahweh. The Apostle Peter states, "Be like obedient children as you put aside the desires that you used to pursue when you didn't know better. Since the one who called you is holy, be holy in all that you do, for it is written, 'You are to be holy, for I am holy.'"